Let me tell you a story. A story about strength, a story about courage, a story about love, a story about wisdom, a story about pain, a story about suffering, a story about passion, a story about warmth, a story about endearment, a story about life and death, a story about hope, a story about the black man. My name is Jack. I was born in Jackson, Mississippi. My father is Ethan Smith III. He was an honorable man and a small Baptist church pastor. I grew up in church listening to songs inspired by the spiritual Negro movement. These songs taught me always to remain hopeful, even though he was facing so much hatred and terror. My father was fighting for blacks to have the right to vote. He encountered opposition against the white man. His words, "Change will happen. We will be free." The members of the Ku Klux Klan harassed my family and me, placing a flaming cross in front of my father's church, threw rocks and broke many windows. My father stood strong against these white creatures. My father instilled strength within our community. He taught me how to play the saxophone in early blues style music, which was jazz's birth. During a cold night in the winter of 1895, my worst fears became a reality. My father was found dead hanging from a tree, naked with whip marks. The change will happen. We will be free. In 1904, I moved to New York City to attend Columbia University, where I studied law. I was invited to a party, and there I discovered an amazing, new different sound. It was beautiful and soulful. This was jazz. Jazz was very popular in the streets of New York City. I fell in love immediately with this style of music, and it was calling my name. After listening to the talented Scott Joplin, I decided to focus on piano. I read an ad in the New York Age, a black-owned newspaper, where a group of musicians named the Jazzes was looking for pianists. I decided to audition and competed against 10 fellow musicians also auditioning. I was new to playing the piano. My passion for jazz was why the group selected me. We played across the country.
Where is the Jim Crow section on this merry-go-round? Mister, 'cause I want to ride. Down south where I come from, white and colored can't sit side by side. Down south on the train, there's a Jim Crow car. On the bus, we're put in the back, but there ain't no back to a merry-go-round. Where's the horse for a kid that's black?
At Columbia, I met the love of my life, Nancy Walker. I had a performance at a downtown bar and wanted to invite her. But due to the racial segregation in New York City, she was unable to enter the club. I asked the manager why Nancy was not allowed to enter, but the manager said, "These are the rules." I was furious. When one customer saw Nancy, he said, "Niggers are not allowed here." I was very saddened by this event and felt very bad. At the end of the concert, I came back to my dorm room and I started crying. I screamed, "I am only a nigger. I will always be a nigger." Then my roommate Jacob said to me, "No, you are not. You were in college, and this shows that you are a smart man and smarter than anyone you could meet. You are equal, Jack." However, even though Jacob was trying to comfort me, I noticed that no matter where I lived in the US, I would never be considered as a free man. Tenure with the Jazzes ended with World War I when I enrolled in the Army after being recruited by Jim Reese Europe in 1914. In 1914, I was one of 380,000 black men that joined the Army forces. I was part of the 15th Regiment and played in an all-black music military ensemble. I continued to play all over Europe, performing for Americans, British, and French soldiers. Played a range of compositions from plantation melodies to the Memphis blues. When playing, my fellow brothers forgot that they were part of the Army. They closed their eyes and forgot we were in the war. The music freezes.
Negroes, sweet and docile, meek, humble and kind, beware the day they change their mind. Wind in the cotton fields, gentle breeze, beware the hour, it uproots trees.
After the war, I returned to New York City to ask Nancy to marry me. She said yes. We moved to Jackson, Mississippi for the wedding. We were confronted by the Jim Crow laws while traveling back to Jackson, Mississippi. We had to stay in the blacks only section of the train. However, I fought for the country's freedom. I was still not free. A year later, in March 1921, Nancy gave birth to a beautiful son named Mark Ethan Smith.
Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow.
We We stayed in Mississippi, and I took care of my family and kept playing my horn.